The growing momentum for universal basic income. Universal basic income, UBI, is the idea that all citizens should regularly receive an unconditional cash payment to ensure everyone has the means to meet their basic needs. What was once considered a radical idea is rapidly gaining mainstream support across the political spectrum as a potential solution to economic precarity, inequality, and other social problems. Here we'll explore the concept of UBI in depth, weigh the evidence from pilot studies, and examine the strengths and limitations of this bold policy proposal. Problems with modern social welfare systems. Most existing social safety net programs have major shortcomings that UBI seeks to redress. Unemployment insurance frequently leaves out independent contractors, part-time workers, and those who quit jobs voluntarily. Means-tested welfare programs like food stamps impose burdensome reporting requirements, stigmatization, and benefits cliffs that discourage recipients from working more. Disability payments remain meager, and obtaining them often requires lengthy struggles through bureaucracy. The rules and red tape of traditional welfare results in many needy people falling through the cracks entirely. In contrast, UBI provides an income floor for everyone unconditionally as a right of citizenship. This streamlines administration while reaching those excluded from current systems. It eliminates the stigma associated with means testing and replaces punitive welfare traps that take away benefits when people earn more money. UBI also provides the freedom to pursue career goals, education, family life, entrepreneurship, or other priorities rather than forcing people into low-wage jobs just to afford basic necessities. The economics of UBI. Several features make UBI particularly advantageous from an economic perspective. Since everyone receives the same benefit, UBI essentially functions as an automatic stimulus program during recessions when people need more support. Yet it does not risk causing inflation by overheating the economy in productive periods. The consistent income gives individuals more latitude to take economically productive risks like starting a small business or pursuing skills training. UBI enables people to invest in themselves, their families, and their communities. Evidence shows cash transfer programs tend to spur growth and circulation in local economies as extra money gets spent at small businesses. UBI removes the need for complex bureaucratic welfare systems, reducing administrative bloat and inefficiency. Some research even indicates UBI may increase rates of employment, as people have the security to leave exploitative jobs and find more meaningful work. How would UBI get funded? The most commonly cited obstacle to implementing UBI is its cost, with estimates typically in the hundreds of billions for modest basic incomes in the U.S. However, numerous funding mechanisms have been proposed. One option is to consolidate existing welfare programs and apply the money towards UBI. For instance, replacing food stamps and housing vouchers alone would cover 20% of the cost. The administrative savings from streamlining all programs could also help fund UBI. Most UBI funding proposals also include some tax increases on the wealthy and corporations to achieve more progressive redistribution. An alternative is to finance UBI through common ownership of capital and natural resources. Carbon taxes and financial transaction taxes have also been suggested as ways to collect revenue while furthering environmental and economic goals. Overall, most experts conclude UBI is very affordable. The bigger constraint is political will. The growing seriousness and appeal of UBI. For decades, UBI was a marginal idea confined to academia. But after the 2008 financial crisis, interest in UBI exploded. Pilot studies emerged across the world from Finland to Kenya to test its impacts. The evidence overwhelmingly shows UBI improves health, school attendance, nutrition, trust in government, and subjective well-being while reducing poverty and inequality. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the sudden, widespread need for economic relief made giving people money directly look far less radical. The popularity of stimulus checks led many politicians to voice support for more permanent UBI policies. Conservative thinkers argue UBI represents an efficient, non-bureaucratic approach that provides people autonomy versus paternalism. Progressives see UBI as enabling human dignity and empowerment. The idea now has advocates spanning the political spectrum. Remaining questions around UBI. Despite the growing enthusiasm, some unresolved concerns remain around UBI. There is still debate about optimal payment amounts and structures. Challenges like identifying citizens eligible for payments must be addressed. The most persistent criticism is that UBI could discourage working, though evidence from pilots demonstrates this effect seems minor. Some worry UBI could drive inflation if implemented at scale, though historical instances of cash transfers show limited impact on prices. While more study is needed, the data so far indicates that benefits substantially outweigh any drawbacks. As societies contend with automation, job insecurity, demographic shifts, and the shortcomings of existing social policies, UBI stands out as a promising solution whose time may soon arrive. The path to implementation. Global grassroots advocacy by organizations like the Basic Income Earth Network has normalized UBI politically and shifted public opinion. Cities and countries across the world have begun conducting small-scale UBI pilots or are seriously considering doing so. Larger-scale experiments will undoubtedly emerge within the next decade. The question seems less whether universal basic income will be implemented broadly, but when. UBI offers a bold new social contract, the assurance of an income floor for all without burdensome conditions or stigma. In an age of rising inequality and precarious work, guaranteeing a basic living could be the cornerstone of fair, resilient, and thriving societies where all citizens are empowered to reach their full potential.